So somebody who's adopted, especially transracially adopted, we as people who are adopted are bombarded with the stupidest fucking questions on the face of the planet. And not only are they stupid, they're ignorant and usually offensive. So I'm going to go ahead and take one for the team and answer once and for all. I'm going to tell you all the fucking questions that I'm sick of being asked, okay? Number one, don't you feel lucky that you were chosen? No, bitch, I wasn't fucking chosen. This is not a fucking puppy pound. This is not somewhere where you just open up a fucking magazine and go fucking shopping for the poor black kid that you can find. Like, no, I don't fucking feel lucky I was chosen. I didn't have any fucking choice in this matter. Second thing, don't you, so like, did your biological family like not want you or something? First of all, that's really none of your business. Second of all, that's rude as fuck. Third, not everybody has the same fucking story. There's a lot of fucking parents out there who would love to keep their kids but simply cannot. You don't know people's story. Some people's parents fucking died. You don't know. You don't fucking know people's story. Everybody has a different story. Not everybody was just tossed out in the fucking trash by their family. And maybe some of them were. And that's their story. And you know what? That's okay. Because that's not on them. And you don't need to bring up that bullshit like they ain't already dealing with that themselves. Okay? So go on, fuck yourself. How much did you cost? Yes, people have asked me that question before. I do not have a price because, bitch, what? I'm fabulous. You can't put a price on this. No, but seriously, like, ugh, like you guys are so fucking gross. Like, we don't cost $1 amount. The process to adopt costs money, but there's not a price on a child's fucking head for you to adopt somebody. It's not like you open up a fucking magazine. It's like, all right, so you're gonna give me 20 grand for this black bitch over here, and then you're gonna give me 3,500. Like, it's not like you're gonna fucking open up a magazine and see a fucking catalog with price tags on the babies. Like, what is wrong with y'all? The other thing I'm really tired of answering, oh, well, since you were adopted as a baby, it must be really easy, right? No. Who told you that? That's not fucking true. Just because you're adopted as a baby doesn't mean that you like don't fucking know that you're adopted. Especially when you're somebody like me and are transracially adopted. Like, you think I didn't notice that everybody in my family was white? There's a reason I go by the name Only Black Girl, because I was literally the only fucking black person in the entire town. So yes, it is fucking different for me. It is not, may not be the same experience as somebody who is literally like coming from one life to another, but there's still a lot of things that adoptees go through as children. As somebody who's adopted as a baby, you're still dealing with the fact that you are adopted. Like, just because you're adopted as a baby doesn't mean you're just like magically like, oh, I have a perfect life. No adoption issues ever again. One of my favorites is that, do you consider your adopted family your real family? First of all, what is a real family? A family is a family. Second of all, yes, I do. They are my family. They are the people who raised me since I was 3 days old. They are my family. Everybody else is a secondary family. Literally, the definition of family isn't even a biological. It's not. You don't have to be biologically related to be family. My adopted family is my fucking family. And you want to say something about it, you can come and fight me. You can catch his hands. Oh, I wish I was adopted. Or I always wanted to adopt. This is not something that you need to greet an adopted person with. Like, you're not making a connection with us by telling us or trying to sympathize that you've always wanted to adopt somebody, or that you, if also, what does, like, we don't, first of all, I don't care. Secondly, like, wishing and feeling like you should adopt somebody else is just not, we're not connecting. We're just not. Just go away. Backing off of that, one of the ones that always pisses me off is, I feel like I'm adopted. Do you? What does adopted feel like? Please tell me. Explain to me. Explain to me the feeling of being adopted, because I don't know it. You saying you feel like you adopted because you don't fit in with the rest of your family? Really? Ooh. If only it was that simple, sweetie. Another question I get all the time, and I don't understand why y'all ask me this, but you guys will always fucking say like, well, you must not believe in abortion, right? Just because you're adopted. I'm like, first of all, what correlation does that have? I mean, it's, they're like missing here. Like, it doesn't no, there's no relation there. You think that just because I was adopted, or just because I was given up for adoption, means that I want to take away the right of a woman's body to choose. You know, my mother got to make that choice. Okay, just because I might have been aborted or I could have been aborted does not mean that I'm going to be against a woman choosing to do what she wants to do with her fucking body. Like, there's no relation there. Like, I don't understand why you guys ask such stupid ass fucking questions. I just don't. I'm gonna stop it there for now because I'm gonna do a part 2 about the shit that I get asked and said about me as being a transracial adoptee. That's gonna have to be a whole separate video because girl, that's a whole nother fucking can of worms. Honestly, if you don't have anything productive to say to adoptee, just don't fucking talk to us. Like, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear your jokes. We don't want to hear your stupid ass statements. If you are interested in adopting, then you need to go talk to somebody who's an adoptive person. Go Google, use your Googles, go find a fucking agency, go talk to them. We are not your resource for the adoption process. We were just the person who was adopted. We don't deal with that bullshit. So if you want to learn that information, you need to go talk to somebody who went through that process and leave us alone. We're dealing with our own shit. We don't want to talk to you about your dumb ass questions, okay?